Alright guys, got a quick video for you guys. Today we're talking about the Cracker Barrel rebrand. I'm a bit late with this one. I just wanted the dust to settle a bit more. But we're going to talk about the rebrand, what it means for branding, especially if you're talking about a legacy brand. And then we're going to dive into what my thoughts are with the brand. So let's get straight into it. First off, this is just a quick article from AP News talking about the rebrand, and this is the new brand. So I'm just going to show you a few things here. So Cracker Barrel, this was the original one. It's called, I don't know what a Cracker Barrel is. I don't know. It's very American, very old American. I'm from the UK. I ain't never heard of a Cracker Barrel before this, but it's a very political thing. Even so much Donald Trump tweeted something about it being woke or something. I'm not going to get that tweet up because it's irrelevant to what I'm talking about. Not so much irrelevant, but it's doesn't really matter right now. So that's the old one, but then the new logo was this. So I'm going to show you a bit more. There's a little bit more here. Cracker Barrel looking like that. So yeah, let me just look at let's do a quick Google's over here, and let's go to the images so you can see the before and after. So this is the before and after. You can see the Cracker Barrel here on the left, and you can see that they haven't done too much. Let's see if I can get a bigger image here. They haven't done too much. Like, it's not that wild a rebrand, by the way. This is not like a Jaguar situation, though they made similar mistakes. Oh, that's better. This is not a Jaguar situation where they went left field. It's not the same thing. It's actually an evolution of the brand, so it's actually not that big a deal. However, there's some issues here that they made a mistake. Is it the perfect logo? No, but to me as a designer, it is an improvement visually, because this is old school. This is an illustration, really. Even KFC, if I go to KFC and I used to type in the KFC into Google, like, yes, you still have the man, but you also have the option without the man. You have the KFC. You see what I mean? You still have the illustration there, and there's but the thing is that KFC has not lost their how iconic they are. They have not lost their tradition. Whereas if we look at the Cracker Barrel one, people feel like they've lost their history, and people are calling it woke. It's not woke. That's not what the issue is here. It's not a woke redesign. It's just a simplification and an evolution that people don't understand. And because they went the target audience, which is very traditional, very traditional American, they don't understand. They're very traditional. They don't like change. That target audience is very opposed to change in general. It happens here as well. Whenever people do a rebrand for a traditional or a heritage brand, people are just very invested in it because they feel like they have a stake in it. So every little change, even if they kept the man, if they changed them, they even simplified the man, people will not be pleased. If they just kept the same shape and removed a little bit of it, I guarantee people will still complain. You cannot please people. You're going to offend people whether or not you like it. People are always going to be offended when you change a heritage brand. The problem here is not the fact that they rebranded. This is a much needed rebrand. Like, this is very, very old. And from someone that, I'm not the target audience, but this is old. Like, it's just old. It just needs a rebrand. It needs a refresh, and they want to reach a modern audience. But in order to reach a modern audience, they outcast their current audience, and that's the problem. The problem here is that there's so much heritage that they lost the heritage in the rebrand. I'm going to show you the whole rebrand. I actually like the rebrand. The rebrand is actually nice. If you look here, in context, it's actually nice. I quite liked I like it in context. It's not like the worst thing. It actually works very well in context. However, when you do that, doesn't have the context of the traditional part of it. So they threw the baby out with the bathwater. It looks good. I think it looks good. I think the branding actually looks good in context. Like, it's not a bad rebrand. It's a good rebrand. However, they have lost their story, and the problem here is that they wanted to reach a modern audience, but they threw away the entire story, and that's why people they don't know this. They're not very aware of this, but people are upset because they have lost the story of the business. If they kept the story and they still rebranded, will people still be offended? Yes. Will they still call it woke? Yes. That's just probably the target audience. However, the rebrand was a bit too far in that they didn't carry the audience over to the reasons why they're doing the rebrand. So what they see is just a big change and simplification, and they call it soulless. So that's the problem. It's not the rebrand, it's the way that it was done. Whereas, if they continue to evolve to keep their tradition, but evolve the tradition visually, then it wouldn't have been as bad. And they have backtracked. Actually, they've scrapped it. They've gone back to this, and I feel like that was the wrong decision. I feel like they shouldn't have gone back to it. I feel like they should have stuck to it, because people, like, they will have to deal with it. You see what I mean? But when you're dealing with money and you're dealing with stocks and stuff like that, like, you have to respond. And they got bullied into going back to their original logo, which I feel is just outdated. But again, the target audience appreciates an outdated logo. I'm not the target audience, so what do I have to say? They said, we thank our guests for sharing your voices and love for Cracker Barrel. We said we would listen, and we have. Our new logo is going away, and our old timer will remain, the company said in the social media post. If you were going to do a rebrand and you know that your company is a traditional brand, why would you just oversimplify it and throw away all your tradition? Like, evolve the man, keep the man, but change certain things that just aren't needed. So, like, I don't understand certain decisions here. Again, I'm not the target audience, but you can keep the man as the mascot, but still evolve the logo. But you threw him out completely, and it's like, hello. You don't always have to do that sort of thing. It's like the KFC mascot once again being thrown out. Why? It's unnecessary. So they should have evolved the brand, but I don't think they should have gone back. But hey, I'm not the business owner here. So what can I say about this? Let's just say a couple of things. When it comes to rebranding, you cannot please everyone. You can't. It's not going to happen. You have to do what is right for the brand, and also remember that the story is about your audience. It's not really about you, but the audience that you currently have, take them on the journey with you. Otherwise, they're gonna feel betrayed. It's just like how Jaguar messed up their whole rebrand. They wanted to reach a completely different audience, and they've lost their entire heritage, and it's backfired a lot. I feel like we're in a season or in an age where people feel like simple is more, but it's not necessarily the case. It's more about the story being told. Less is always more, but not if you're gonna lose your entire story. And I feel like Cracker Barrel lost their story, and that's the issue. People are not upset because this is a rebrand generally. They're upset because they've lost a piece of themselves, and I can empathize with that, because it's not a nice feeling, because it's just like, oh, you're very committed and you've invested in this brand, but they've turned around and they've just completely changed. It's just like when you're married to someone, and then all of a sudden your partner or your wife or husband comes and says and starts acting like a different person, start wearing different clothes, the personality changes, they dye their hair, they shave off their beard. If I shaved off my beard, my wife would not be happy. I didn't discuss it with her and everything like that, because she has a stake in me, and she has every right to be offended. If she's out right now, if she came home and I shaved my beard, she'd be livid. So when you rebrand, you need to include people in the conversation, and when you don't include your target audience in the conversation, they have every right to be upset, and that's really it. But what do you think? I'm just a decent man from the city of demons.
I'm a decent man from the city of demons. Niggas be scheming, niggas be shooting.
If you know that meme. But I'm just a designer from the UK. If you're from America, if you're from the US, do you agree with me? Do you think it was a good rebrand, a bad rebrand, whatever it is? Let me know in the comments below what you think, no matter who you are, and I will see you on the next video. Peace out.